Hi, Mr. Husband, Head Teacher Admin, Warners Bay High School. Just put this presentation together to assist parents, assist their own students in their online learning whilst we're doing learning at home. So the first thing to realise is that all of our learning is taking place through Google Classroom, and your students will have a suite of subjects they should all be joined up to, and they'll also see on this front page of their Google Classroom, they can also see what's coming up, what work is due. So you can actually look at that, and that will give you an overall view of what's coming up. Most of the work will be set on the Monday or Tuesday and will be there for the whole week. For senior classes, you may have a few more activities. But let's go into a class now and have a look exactly what it looks like for a student. So once you go in, you'll see on the front, you've got the stream, classwork, people, and grades. All you need to worry about up the top here is the stream and the classwork. So the stream is where things come out, much like a Facebook page. Really, the only thing the student needs is probably to get the Zoom link for today's lesson. So you can see here that I'll put a little message up here saying that I've been delayed by 10 minutes, so that I'll be starting the Zoom at 10:45. Here's the link. Sometimes they need the ID and passcode, but most of the time they can just click on the link and go straight through, or there's also a link here. So that helps them get into the Zoom. And I really do encourage you to get your students into each Zoom. A lot of teachers do them, and at least once a week. But particularly for the senior classes, it's important that we see their faces and engage and give them that sense of camaraderie and all the things that they're missing from school at the moment. It also allows them to talk to other students in the classroom. So very important. Each classroom, no matter if they're senior or junior, will have the same look. So each of them will have, week 5, term 3, or week 6, term 3, and they'll have a check-in question, learning intention, work to submit and learning reflection, and optional extension activities. So basically the check-in question may be done every day, that they have that subject, or it might just be done at the beginning of the week. Regardless, this is how we tell that the student has. It's basically like the way we mark the roll. So it's usually a simple question. Some teachers might do a fun question, or some like me might do something that's related to the content. Once they've done that, they then have learning intention and activities. So for example, you'll see here that I've put, this is what we're doing this week. These are the points that we're covering. This is what I hope to have achieved. And you'll see I've got a little checklist here as a Word doc and some slides. Now, these aren't turn-inable. These aren't things that they have to complete. These are just this is information to assist them complete their activities. Work to submit is where they actually have to click on the work, and here you'll find some worksheets and a variety of things depending on the subject that the class has to do. And you can also see that students can actually make comments. So if they don't understand something, I can click on this. So I had one student ask me a question, I can give them feedback. So if your student's struggling to know what to do, they can always ask a question of the teacher, or you can ask them to ask a question. Once they're in, you can see that they then click on this. And now some of these might just be, for example, an Atomi login will just be, please go and do this activity. And then I can go and check to see if they've done it. So there's nothing to turn in. They just have to watch the video or do the quiz, whatever it may be. Other work they actually have to click on and open up and write into. So you can see here, this is a document which the student now has to type into and submit. So it's probably best I turn to a student page right now to show you what that looks like for the student. So if I drag this across, we'll have a look at, this is the student I created. Okay, they now go to the work to submit, and some of these might be, so for example, I've asked students to annotate using the PowerPoint that I've given them, annotate this sheet. Okay, or it might be this sheet, sorry. So I've asked them to give them 2 sources, and they need to show me that they know that this is, for example, related to market externalities, and this is about monopolies. They just have to write that on the sheet. Okay, and then I can look at that as a teacher. Some things have to be turned in and marked. So it might be, if I open this one up, I need to explain the difference between this, and you can see here that this student has answered that. All right. Now, if I go to one of these other ones, so inequality. All right. Now, because this has already been turned in, I can't show you it turned in. So what I'm going to do as a teacher, I'm going to show you how we mark them. So we receive this information, and we then have to okay. So we open up and look at the information, and it's then marked. So when the student turns it in, it's important to know as a parent that they could actually turn in something that's totally blank, or something like gibberish like this, if this is just a fake student. So just because it says turned in doesn't mean it's actually been done. So we then might put a comment on that, like we might say, please add more detail. They might be given a mark, okay, and maybe some overall comments about their presentation. And here will be all the files that they have actually submitted. So once that's returned, the student gets that back with the comment and feedback, and then they can then either improve that or use it to further their learning on the next activity. So basically, when we go back to the page, we can see that it's all about the check-in, um, the learning intention and activity, so they know what they're learning for the week and they've got the material to help them. Then these are all the things that they hand in, and you can see that I've just got 3 people here who haven't handed something in, and 9 who have, and 1 that I've marked. And the optional extension activities are basically set up for those students who have completed everything but would like to extend themselves and perhaps do some more work. So, for example, here I've got some videos for them to watch with quiz answers involved. So, again, I'll check on those and make sure that they've been done, and give any feedback. How do you keep up as a teacher, as a student, sorry, in terms of what has your student done? What have they got due? Well, the good news is you've got that front screen, which I showed at the start of the video, but you've also got the Google Guardian summary. As a parent, you will have received, hopefully, if you haven't, you need to contact the office of the school. You will have received an invitation to join the Google Classroom. Now, this would have gone to the email that appears on our central system. So it's the email that you enrolled your student with. Sometimes that goes out of date and parents don't update them, or they change their email accounts. You may have to contact the school and get that changed if you're not getting anything, particularly if you're not getting any school emails. So once you accept that and you're the guardian, you then get these daily summaries or weekly summaries, depending on your settings and how you choose to receive them. You might decide that you're all over it and that you don't really need to get all of these emails. There's 2 things you can do here. You can use your email system to separate those emails and put them into a folder automatically by creating a rule. That declutters your email inbox, or you can choose to unsubscribe. Okay, and that's it just may be that you don't need it, or you're not using the information, and it's basically just filling up your inbox. Because if you've got 7, you might have 2 or 3 students who've all got 7 different subjects. That could be 21 emails a day you're getting. Okay, so you need to think about how you manage that, and you can do that through the settings or by unsubscribing. So hopefully this has given you enough information to feel more comfortable with your child and their learning at Warners Bay High School while we're online. Hopefully we get back to the classroom soon. But I will be sending out a survey for you to be able to send in feedback and send in any questions, some sort of form, so you can actually get them answered, and we'll get through them as quickly as possible. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you later.